Hello, everybody. Welcome into episode 15 of our first season, Arsenal Fan Circle. And with me today, I have my co-host, Mahir Abrams from Gundit News. Hello, Mahir. How are you feeling today? Are we ready to break out into, are we going to start singing 1-0 to the Arsenal? Yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Okay, I'm sure people haven't come. I'm sure people don't want us singing too much. All right, so yeah, I just sort of well, we both know the results from this week, but I just realized both our strikers scored this week, and they're both 1-0 results, and we kept two clean sheets away from home. Can't ask for more than that, can you?
We'll talk about how many exactly we have, which is getting a little bit ridiculous now.
We might have doubled in this past week. We might have doubled our clean sheets for the season. Who knows? Hey, Gundit News, Ma here. Today is the 1 year anniversary of Arsene Wenger stepping down. So, yeah, what are your thoughts about that? Yeah, it's amazing how a year has gone by.
My thoughts are basically, it's amazing to think that we had Arsene Wenger for 20 years, 20 plus years actually, and how long he actually managed with what he had to keep us in the Champions League for the entire stay that he was with us. And yes, it was a bit prolonged in him leaving. And to be honest with you, personally, I was doing out during the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really open my eyes until he left. You know, they say you don't know what you have until it's gone. And when he left, actually only a few months after, I realized this guy absolutely he was a legend. He did everything for the love of Arsenal. It was only a pity that the board weren't ready to give him the money to back the big money buys, basically. And like his last buy was a bummy, and I mean, seriously, man, Messi, Arsenal, thank you for all the years that you did service for our club.
Yeah, maybe he was a little bit tied with the money by here as well, but he did start a revolution in the mid '90s when he came in. Changed the diet of all the players, prolonged the careers of many of that famous back four, and brought a lot of silverware in the first 10 years, from 1996 up until 2006. It was a good ride.
It was a fantastic ride. I mean, like a lot of the players, that we do know are all legends. You know, the likes of the Huntleys, Burkamps, and Perez's. They know the value of Arsenal. It was just a pity they couldn't continue it. Like I mean, if you had gotten back in the squad, maybe that we have. At the same time, I'm very thankful right now he left for when he left because it was getting poisonous,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
needed a change of everything, a change of mentality, a change of personnel. And we're seeing even with the likes of Ulda Emery right now, uh, the players are, during the last few years, they don't want to fight for Wenger anymore, basically.
yeah. I think the players had become tired. You can make an excuse after 2006 that you're moving to the stadium to become better and get more money and be able to compete with the likes of Bayern Munich, which is debatable and questionable given where we are right now. But when you get to 2010, 2012, and you're shopping in the bargain basement, basically, You're buying
Basically, a lot of players who are never good enough. We're not
like
even talking about the likes of our defenders right now, but I'm talking about like the Bentners and the Tamak and the
the
Kallstrom.
Shamaks. So,
Oh my
do you
God.
remember Michael Sylvester, the Manchester United
Oh
reject?
my God. Yes, even from other clubs who, I mean, that was ridiculous.
But the worst one ever was William Gallas.
Oh my goodness, you can say that again. I'm sure all our subscribers know that by now. Like, all the fellow gooners are like, just keep going down that list.
Just keep going. Well,
until the player.
yeah,
But well, you don't need to even. Those are petty guys. They are very bad decisions, and that unfortunately was how Austin ended up getting all the people to go against him, basically.
yeah. For me, a really cardinal sin was selling Van Persie to Manchester United.
Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, you do know it's also a. And he did say he won't sell anybody else, and then he sold the Lexus to Man United, and the likes of Fabregas to Chelsea, when we could have taken him and brought him back home. Who knows how he would have been performing? It's actually very interesting if you think about it.
Yeah, it is terrible. He wouldn't take back Fabregas because of he would kill the career of other players such as Ozil, which seemed ridiculous to me at the time.
Yeah, but I mean, what you could have done is you could have still had him around though. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, he will be known as a legend forever with Arsenal because the guy loved the club. Let's be honest. Even though I was Wenger out for what 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, he loved the club. He loved the club, and he did so much. It's just a pity of the way during the last few months, or the last year, or the last 2 seasons that he was with us, that he went out the way he went out. You understand?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you make a great point as well, Mahir, that it became poisonous amongst the supporters, and it became a situation where Wenger was becoming resistant to modern day football and directors of football. He was like the famous quote was I think 2 years ago is, "What do these directors of football do? Do they tell the footballers where to go and stuff like that?" It was just ridiculous.
Like, to the direct traffic, what is this? I was like,
Yeah, yeah. Can you just imagine footballers walking in a crossroads and a director of football in the middle of the street telling them where to go? Oh, Van Persie, you go to Manchester United. Yeah. Henri, you go to Barcelona. Fabregas, you go to, and not to mention all of the players. We started the Manchester City project way back 10 years ago. All the players we sold to Manchester City.
I
Yeah.
think there was like, which year there were actually quite a few,
Clichy,
I mean, even like
Adebayor,
Nasri,
Nasri, quite a few.
and I mean, I mean, not like I don't know about Adebayor so
Yeah.
much, but like a Nasri and a Nasri and a Fabregas
Hmm.
still around for another year or two while he might have worked on a better player. Do you understand?
Yeah. So, am I here for you overall? Arsene Wenger did more good than bad. He gave us a lot of good.
Much more good.
He gave us a lot of great moments.
Unforgettable moment. And the cup. I mean, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah. I think it was Claude that said when you are when you're eating steak every night, it's hard to eat baked beans on toast again. So referring to those great teams we had in the late '90s and early 2000s, culminating in the invincible team. But I think it's time to.
And then after that we started turning star players to all the rival clubs like it was nothing. Panic buying the worst. I wouldn't say the absolute worst, but the worst. Some of the worst players that were available.
Yeah.
So
like we still have a couple of those on the books. We still have a couple of those on the books today. Like
subscribers.
Like Mustafi, right? Yeah. So yeah, let's draw a line over that. Thank you very much, Arsene Wenger. We're celebrating your anniversary of leaving in some ways because it was needed, and you overstayed your welcome by a few years, but you did so much for the club and elevated. I want to say elevated the status of Arsenal worldwide. I don't think there'd be so many Arsenal fans worldwide right now if it wasn't due to Arsene Wenger and the players that he was able to bring in, the teams he was able to put together, and that competition versus Fergie and Manchester United was top notch. But yeah, we are happy though that we have Unai Emery now.
I'm sure a lot of our subscribers, new and old, since they were figured by now you can see it. The players have pride, passion, fight. They want to fight for Emery. They want to fight for our supporters. They want to put absolutely everything on the line. Yes, occasionally we'll have a suspect game, and yes, there's still a lot of defense problems, and we are lacking a few. I think about 3 to 4 players, maybe, for us to actually be up there. With the best of them.
Yeah, I think the players that we have long term injuries in. You can see our squad depth right now. We've lost Rob Holding to long term injury. We've lost Bellerin to long term injury. We've lost Welbeck also. Those are the 3 main positions that we're hurting in, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. If you don't have the likes of an Aubameyang or Lacazette, one is injured, and there's tactics where, say for instance, you play like an Aubameyang, and you tire the opposition out to a point where it comes to the 60th minute, 70th minute. Wouldn't it be a lovely option to have that third striker to say, right, Lacazette is injured, you go do the job.
Yeah.
And Danny was scoring quite a few vital goals for us before he got injured and put out for the rest of the season.
I saw somewhere that after 50 games, Unai Emery has 32 wins, which is 5 games more than the next of all Arsenal managers in their first 50 games. Now, that's a great statistic.
That's an amazing statistic. You know what I would love for Emery? Even though he wasn't our first choice when it came to picking the next manager, he's done fantastically with what he's got. Despite all the problems that are still looming and that will be resolved, it's fantastic. I think, if not, I saw also a stat. He's out of all the new managers, he's top of those managers to win the most games out of 50. The first 50 games.
First 50 games. Amazing.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That's outstanding if you think about all the new coaches and the reputations that they all have
Yeah, I mean,
currently with a lot more games.
I had to double check the statistic because Arsene Wenger comes in with 23 wins out of 50, his first 50 games. And I actually thought that he hit the ground running pretty well when he came in September of '96. But apparently he only won 23 games out of 50. And Unai Emery has now won 9 more games in his first 50 games than Arsene Wenger did, and 5 more than George Graham and Herbert Chapman.
That is truly, truly outstanding. Personally, if you ask me, I would love for Unai to get a third place and a Europa League win, Europa Cup, because I mean they say he's the Europa League specialist, and
Yes.
it would be one of those manager of the year performances from him if he can achieve that. And I mean, I would love to see that. When was the last time we saw an actual European Cup being lifted? I mean,
Yeah.
in my lifetime, I haven't seen anything just but yes, we did go through to a final of the Champions League with Barca
Mm-hmm.
and finishing runners up. But in my lifetime, I can picture it now already. Even though it's the Europa League, it's the second biggest competition among the European competitions,
Yeah.
aside from the Champions.
Yeah, people can denigrate the Europa League all they like, but remember Ajax got to the final a couple of years ago against Manchester United in 2017. Manchester United won it, but Ajax got to the final, and now look where Ajax are now. They're in a
But
semi-final.
that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. Those all the fans of sport on the AFC can't say anything because look what Ajax did. Yes, they were in the final with Ajax and they obviously beat Ajax, but look where they are now, and that is a young squad. I mean, I would love us also to have a balanced squad almost like that with a lot of these upcoming superstars and a few well-known names, like the veterans,
Yeah,
basically.
and James Rowe, who has been on here before with us, he has promised that he will talk to us and get on the show in the coming weeks to speak about Ajax and what is happening in his home city of Amsterdam. So that will be something to look
That'll be
forward to.
amazing. Yeah,
Um,
that'll be definitely something to look forward to because we have had James on before and the insight is outstanding.
his insight into European football is amazing, and he's interviewed a lot of personalities. So if anyone is new to the channel and is watching this, go check out at James Rowe NL for Netherlands, at James Rowe NL for Netherlands. He does a lot of writing articles on coaches and players. So that's the plug for James Rowe out of the way. And we do appreciate James when he comes on. But that is amazing, Unai Emery. And I was looking, Mahir, at the 3 Europa League finals that he did win from 2014, 2015, and 2016. Unai Emery won 3 in a row with Sevilla. And in 2 of those finals, they actually went 1 goal down. So that shows the character of his teams.
You see, that's the thing. You need players with the right mentality and players that want to fight for the badge and by any means necessary win a game. I mean, so, it gives us even a little bit of confidence now that you mentioned even the 1-0 thing. So, I hope tactics are going to be spot on like it was in Napoli. I mean, we completely shut them out. We actually made them play poor, which is, for me, I mean, it was hilarious. That it
Yeah.
was like they played so poorly. And this is the second best team in Italy,
Yeah.
aside from Juventus.
Yeah. So we'll get to Napoli in a second. Let's double back to the Watford game. It seems like a long time ago now, but Watford was only 5 days ago. Monday night, we traveled to Vicarage Road, Mahir, and we were something like sixth place in the league at that point. And it's so tight up there between third and sixth that people are going to jump over each other in the standings if they can get the win. And what did you think of the Watford game?
Looking at the Watford game, brilliant. Brilliant goal by Aubameyang. I mean, to close on the keeper so quickly. I mean, 1 second he was on the defender. I don't know. I'm not sure what the defender's name was, but he was there on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it was given back to the keeper, who's I think it's Foster, if I'm not mistaken.
Foster, yeah.
Foster even they interviewed Foster after the game, and Foster said, "Hey man, I hold up my hands. It's my mistake." but this Aubameyang is so bloody fast. Before I even could think, let me clear this ball out of here. He was just on me, and I hold my hands up, guys. And you have to commend Foster for doing that as well, because he admitted, like, Aubameyang is just too fast. Like, he had no idea. He couldn't even see out of the side of his eye that Aubameyang was, like, right there.
Yeah.
And just like that, it was 1-0. And then we went 1-0 up, and then, yes, it was definitely a red card by Troy Deeney. But Troy Deeney has been cursed ever since he said Arsenal have. Yes, at that time he was right. We had no cojones.
At that time he was right, yeah.
At that time he was right, but he kept on and he kept on, and guess what happened to the 3 times after that? They lost.
Yeah.
Troy Deeney got the yellow.
Yeah.
Troy Deeney got the red. Troy Deeney got sent off. All of these things, like, I think he was cursed ever since. And that's one other thing in life that you must realize. You can't be too big-mouthed. If you're too big-mouthed, karma will come for you. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about we're going to introduce a new feature into these Sunday shows, Gundit News. And we're going to nominate a Turkey of the Week in a football sense. So who
like Ham Roll of the Week, basically.
So ham roll, but we're going to call it the Turkey of the Week. And I have two nominees. Troy Deeney or Wayne Hennessy, because Wayne Hennessy obviously doesn't know anything about history or European history. So who would you nominate, Troy Deeney or Wayne Hennessy, to be Turkey of the Week? Unless you have someone else who's better candidate. Troy Deeney, Turkey of the Week, for using his forearm on Torreira and getting sent off. And like you had told me, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But also, he gave the referee a decision to make.
I mean, you do know how badly Watford, what I'm saying is, how badly Watford wants European football, which is the Europa League, right? It's essentially what they were fighting for.
Yeah.
And you do know you are the main man, basically. Troy Deeney is the main man. He's the captain. And you can't do something so stupid and give even a slight opportunity for the ref to make a decision.
Yeah.
Now, it was definitely a red card, and why I say this is because the elbow was raised, and I mean the view that even the ref first got it at was that of Torreira being clipped, and his head actually went back. And I mean, it's a dangerous challenge. You can break somebody's nose.
Yeah.
You can give them a concussion. So yeah, definitely my Turkey of the Week. Goes to Troy Deeney.
Troy Deeney, and I would agree with you, but I think maybe I'll nominate Wayne Hennessy to be Turkey of the Week for me, because he did not know anything about a Nazi salute, and for me, everybody knows what that is, and it's wrong.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to go with you on that one, because I didn't actually realize that's bad.
Yeah.
With the state of racism in football
today,
that's terrible. That's disgusting. That's putrid.
But Troy Deeney can be a small turkey. I don't know what you call small turkeys. If there's an actual name for it. He can
just a small turkey.
He can be a small turkey.
Of the week should be Hennessy.
And
should be Hennessy, because that's disgusting.
Yeah. And for our subscribers, you must know we are working hard each week to bring you quality shows every Sunday. And I'm actually working to try to get a sports psychologist on with us, and maybe he can explain why Troy Deeney would do such a thing in that situation. And you know, uh, he would have a better clinical analysis of what's going on inside Troy Deeney's head in these situations. But all we can think is that the occasion got the better of him. Troy Deeney was trying to be the big man of Watford and put himself about, and he got himself sent off and hurt the team in the process. What do you think?
I think that's brilliant. I think that's an analysis of what a future analysis could be like, of
Yeah,
what a football thing, what a footballer thinks. But I mean, to be honest with you, to me, you and I, and to all our subscribers, fellow Gooners, it absolutely makes absolutely no sense. But it's to our advantage as well. I mean,
yeah.
who knows what would have happened if he had stayed on the pitch and hadn't made that stupid change? I mean, they could have equalized, maybe scored a winner, and then we'd have gone into Napoli with a little bit of doubt. And it could have changed that as well, like a butterfly effect.
Did you see a Troy? This, and we'll finish with this. A vital 3 points for Arsenal away from home, a clean sheet. But did you see Troy Deeney go off and into the stands, and then he started yelling at Unai Emery?
But that's why.
What do you think he said?
You know what? I think he saw. I think he called our coach a pussy or something. Mind my language, guys.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what I think he said. And you know what? To be honest with you, we don't care about assholes like that, because even though there are characters off the pitch, a lot of pundits are saying he's quite a nice guy off the pitch. But when it comes to being in and around any other team, especially the top six, he tends to be a bit more arrogant. He's more of an arrogant asshole, He's the guy who sticks out his chest and says, right, what.
I saw.
You guys are rubbish.
I saw on AFTV that it was either Troops or DT said that they had gotten to talk to the Troy Deeney and they weren't going to say his explanation.
They weren't even going to say his explanation. But in the famous words of everybody, you talk shit, you tell shit, and you get banged. So yes, we will end it on that right there.
Yeah, we'll end that part right there. Just except to say, we put out a team for Watford the last Sunday show. We picked two teams, both for Watford and Napoli, and we picked this Watford team perfectly, except for two positions. One was we didn't think Ramsey would come into the team, and Ramsey did play in Watford, which we'll get onto later for the Napoli game. And then secondly, nobody could have guessed that he would have introduced Mavropanos. What did you think of Mavropanos?
Mavropanos' performance was, I think it was quite great. Like I would have given him probably a 6.5, about a 6.5 or 7 for his performance, because he's just back and he performed quite well, I must say, against the likes of, the attackers.
Yeah, against whoever was left on the field after Troy Deeney left after. But I think Mavropanos could be a player that Unai Emery could use in the league, because he's not activated for the Europa League. But he could use him in the league, the remaining games in the league.
I think that's an option.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's an option.
For sure, because Koscielny can't play 3 games a week.
Yeah, it's going to be too much cost. Even though he's cost the boss, he's our captain. His age is catching up to him now, and he's not quite finished, but he's slowed down in terms of pace. He used to be fast, used to be very commanding. He still is commanding, but like I say, age does catch up to you eventually. And the new gunners, as per se, will be taking over.
I was listening to a pod here, and they said that Mavropanos made a mistake, and shortly afterwards, Unai Emery substituted him, but sort of lost control of all the substitutes then because it was what you would call a butterfly effect. Uh, he was trying to make different substitutions then to make up for the effect of taking Mavropanos off, which he didn't really need to do.
Yeah, I must say, sometimes Emery is quite suspect when he makes sometimes really weird and suspect substitutions where we think to ourselves, was that necessary? Or do you really want to put pressure on us right now when we're in a good position or trying to chase the game maybe 1-0 down and you're taking off Ramsey and putting El Neni or taking off Lacazette and putting Ainsley Maitland-Niles and changing the formation that way? It's like, huh?
Because as much as he does, I think he does more good things tactically. But as much as he does good things tactically, sometimes he can do bad things tactically, and those substitutions just caused to put the whole team under pressure. I didn't see the game live, but I understand you were quite nervous. And talk about Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
I was quite nervous, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's putting in a shift. I will not lie to you. There are certain games. I think before the Watford game, I think it was at Everton, he had one of the worst performances that I've seen yet from him. But after that, and like a few games before the Man United performance, a few excellent performances, man. Like, he's going to be, I have a feeling he's just going to be a vital part of a young upcoming squad. We say, for instance, we bring in a few more names. We get Rob Holding back. So our future's looking quite bright there, I must say. But like for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I would easily give him an 8 out of 10 player rating for
Watford
a lot of games. A lot of big games.
I know, shout out to London Old School. He's not with us today, but if you're watching, I know you probably will watch us back on playback, London Old School. And I know Ainsley Maitland-Niles is a favourite of his, and he kind of wants him to play in midfield. Do you think he's getting sort of typecast into this wing-back role now, Mahir?
I think so, because at the moment, I don't think that he's going to have a problem getting his play back if Ainsley Maitland-Niles continues to put in his stuff. To be honest with you.
And nobody could have predicted that.
Nobody could have predicted that. But I think at some point, he should play in the midfield because I would love, for instance, us having an option of like Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Torreira playing in midfield.
Yeah, we kind of worry that Ainsley Maitland-Niles might go the way of the Ox, the same kind of career path. Wenger never really fancied him in midfield.
Yeah, I mean, we could all see from a really long time ago that Oxlade should be playing in the midfield, right?
Yeah.
He should not be dropped into his unnatural positions.
And
I don't want to do. We shouldn't be seeing him at the back anyway as a wing back, as a left back or a right back or whatever. But
even though he had some good games, he did have some good games at wing back. But speaking of Crystal Palace this weekend, I do remember one game. It was around January time a few years ago when Oxlade-Chamberlain did play in midfield, and he broke the deadlock, scoring against Crystal Palace a few seasons ago. But anyway, he's a Liverpool player now. Let's move on. Hey, a great. That's okay. I was just waxing lyrical about Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he's a Liverpool player now, so we'll move on. So Watford, Watford overall, we didn't produce very much at Watford. We were lucky in a sense that we got that goal from Aubameyang because we didn't create a whole lot, and we were quite nervous to get that clean sheet and to get a win. We could see how much that win meant to us.
Yeah, look, Ray, I must tell you, it was a very nervy performance, and it was quite poor if you actually think about it from a lot of our players, because we really looked like the side that were playing with 10 men, because Watford had so many chances. They actually had a lot of chances.
You would think that we were at a like you said, you would think we were at a man disadvantage ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally ridiculous. We all had our hands in together, and were basically praying to say, please don't let this be a downfall, because
things are so tight. For this top four now, things are so tight, and we'll talk about today's result, which has helped a little bit. Things are so tight that if you slip up, if you have a result like Everton, we only had that one result versus Everton. That was our breathing room, and we lost that. If we lose any more games, things are so tight that we could get left behind in the top four race.
Basically, the top four race is 3 points between 3 teams.
Yeah.
You could, while right now we are sitting in fourth, with 1 point behind the scumbags, and
game in hand. Game in hand. We have a game in hand on Chelsea too. Level on points in Chelsea, a game in hand. It's great. And same games played. We have a 2-point advantage over Banter. Same games played. So things are looking good.
We just have to see our side, and who's the other club?
Banter FC.
Yeah, basically the two of them lose another game, another 2 games.
Yeah.
And we just need to keep doing what we do, most importantly.
That's it. I hate to say it, but just like Manchester City, we just have to keep doing what we're doing, and we'll win the league. They'll win the league. You'll have to take the Ice Bucket Challenge, and Arsenal keep doing what they're doing. Yeah, perfect. Perfect, right? I think we can both agree on the first two. It's just we're rivals over the third one, you know. But yeah.
But he deserves a lot of credit for what he's done at the moment. I don't agree with people like Claude who say, miracle.
Miracle.
Arsenal should be. Yeah, he's like, my God, and then.
Listen.
Yeah, I'll just leave that at that, because I don't agree with that.
Listen, one day we could be big enough that we're going to have Claude on. We'll try to get him on someday. You know, that'll be something. We love you, Claude. Yeah. Listen. You and I have similar mentalities in terms of how we think about Arsenal. You have people like Luca Corda, and you have Claude, who are more pessimistic, more realistic, and then you have Lee Gunner, people like that who they want more, you know, and we all want that, but some of us see it in different levels.
A Venn diagram is 2 circles.
Yeah.
It's your opinion, my opinion, and most of the time between you and I,
yeah,
it meets right in the middle.
Intersects.
Most of our opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it intersects.
Yeah.
Sometimes it differs in very little ways, but most of the time, if team meets up in the middle.
Yeah. No, but we all want the same thing. Some of us uh, are not celebrating Arsene Wenger leaving as much as we're appreciating what he did for us. But let's talk about Napoli next.
Wow.
Tell me everything about Napoli. Yeah.
Standing, we do know at the likes of Lorenzo Insigne, Dries Mertens,
Yeah.
Koulibaly, who a lot of teams are chasing. I mean, especially us. We would love him as a centre back at Arsenal. And they just over 2 legs played so poor. And
Yeah.
we just managed to play so well. We were defensively sound, which I loved. I mean, even the likes of having a Mustafi in the, even come on, wouldn't be worrying because we were just defensively sound from the midfield to the back. And
did you see the first half? Or
we could have put away more chances.
Did you see the whole game?
The first of the first leg, yes. Unfortunately, during the second leg, I was quite a bit in pain. You have to excuse me for that, and
no.
I fell asleep. But I mean,
did we look comfortable?
In the second leg, I was so we were basically comfortable,
Yeah.
and they just, to be honest with you, it didn't look like the second best team in Italy. They looked like a championship team.
Yeah.
Because they played so poorly, kept giving us the ball back the entire game. I mean, the second leg, I mean, I was excited to watch and go through. And I had so much confidence when I closed my eyes and I said, you can just go to sleep now, bro. Don't worry, it'll be 1-0. We're going to score a goal now before halftime. And you're not going to really miss anything. There's not going to be any opportunities for Napoli. We might score 2. We might score 3. But it's probably going to be 1 goal. And that's exactly what happened.
So for you,
beautiful.
For you, Mahir, you felt so comfortable even before we scored that goal that they were not going to do anything, that you could actually take a snooze.
I could actually take a snooze and fall asleep and wake up. And when I woke up in the morning, first thing I did was check.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Yeah.
The scoreline was 1-0.
1-0.
And I looked at the highlights, and they had absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
Like, they had no chance. I think there was one chance of Talaon. I think he used to play for Real Madrid. And he was off balance and he stuck it sky high into the, way into the stands. And that was like the only opportunity. I think
we have somebody on. We have a viewer. Come on in and leave a question. Tell me how excited you are about the 1-0 to the Arsenal. 2 1-0 victories at Arsenal for Arsenal. But we're talking about Napoli right now and how comfortable it was. And Ancelotti versus Emery. Clearly, Emery won the tactical battle there. Mahir. I almost called you Unai. I almost called you Unai. Yeah. We can.
So before match, I've made it my ritual now to say we can. So it's like almost like a good luck job, you know?
Yeah. So so very proud of our coach who was able to think Ancelotti. Coach has won the Champions League 3 times.
I mean, he's won multiple. Talking about that, Ancelotti's actually won multiple cups with multiple teams.
Different teams.
I think he's won the Premier League with Chelsea also.
Yes, he did.
If I can remember correctly.
Yep.
And Super Cups, UEFA Super Cups, and like you said, Champions Leagues as well, like 3 of them. But I think Unai did fantastically. I think the team did fantastically. A lot of people were saying we were going to get knocked out by the second best team, or I would say the best team in the Europa League. But right now, I've got so much confidence that we can get into that semi-final and possibly be playing Frankfurt. It's a very big possibility we're going to play Chelsea, but I'm not nervous at all. It's like I'm just...
Yeah, so we're going to play Valencia next in the semi-final, and I think we're all hoping maybe we play Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, James Rowe, who we have a lot of belief and trust in, said, don't give up on Eintracht Frankfurt. They can surprise Chelsea.
Nervous of playing any team.
We can beat any of those three teams.
Yes, I do know Sevilla is going to be a tough team, but
Valencia.
Emery's returning. Sorry,
Valencia.
Yeah, I mean, Una has been with Sevilla. He was with Sevilla quite a while. He won 3 back-to-back Europa Leagues. So, Spanish opposition, he basically knows a lot of these teams. He knows a lot of their coaches personally and the tactics that they might use. So, even this might come to an advantage for us that Emery is the boss. Because he can basically now say to the team, listen here, I know their coach. I know the tactics that they're going to play. They might surprise us. Here's the danger in. Because we discussed it in the first 2 episodes. We said what a tactician Emery is. Even when he was being interviewed, he came in with CDs and flash drives for the players of each player and their analysis. His analysis of them and like where's their best positions and what formations to play using.
Knowledge.
And even of past teams that they played, his knowledge basically.
Yeah.
His extensive knowledge so much that
I think that's the only thing that we can thank Ivan. That's the only thing we can thank Ivan Gazidis for, is actually hiring Unai Emery.
He's done so much.
Yeah.
And I adore the guy. So
my brother-in-law has told me at the start of the season he preferred Sarri over Emery, and now we have a season almost under a season under our belt now, and it remains to be seen if we come up against Chelsea in the final. I would like to confirm Emery is better than Sarri by picking up that trophy on May 29th. Can you imagine our season can go to May 29th?
Can you picture it? Can you picture him? Can you picture Sarri getting knocked out by Frankfurt? Us going on and
the away goals is very dangerous in this competition. So we need to take care of our business. And okay, we're talking about a final right now, but let's understand we have to play semi-final, and we have to play Valencia at home first. Hopefully get a similar result to the first leg versus Napoli. But hats off to Lacazette. No, we're playing at home first. Now let me just backtrack on you and say we, apart from Juventus, we're the only team that have beaten Napoli in that stadium this season. So we're in good company with Juventus and ourselves and Juventus, because Liverpool have been beaten there earlier in the season in group stages. Let's not underestimate what our coach is doing and what our team is doing. We have a tendency maybe to say, oh, the opposition was really bad, but how about saying we took care of that tie really, really easily and really well? You know?
Yeah, no doubt. We were saying, you could look at it in both ways. You could say we were very good, and at the same time we made them look very poor.
Yeah, exactly. And if we predicted the Watford lineup exactly right, except for 2 positions, we did predict the Napoli lineup perfectly, except for one position. Now, I'll give you the team that we predicted. Hello, welcome in a viewer. Say hello, drop a comment or a question. We predicted the lineup of the Napoli game perfectly. So Mahir, the team was Czech, Socrates, Koscielny, Monreal that we predicted. Wingbacks of Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, Kolasinac, and then in midfield we had Xhaka, Ramsey, and Torreira. Um, the only difference was that we predicted Ozil could play, but Aubameyang came in instead of Ozil, so it was a very, very attacking-minded team, and we got out of there with a 1-0 win. So a great, great result at Napoli. And moving forward, then we're going to talk about the Crystal Palace game tomorrow. And before we do that, we're going to mention um, the Tottenham result versus Manchester City today. So Tottenham have now played a game more than us, and we're just 1 point behind them. We have that game in hand. So we are if we take care of business tomorrow versus Crystal Palace, then we can. If we take care of business tomorrow versus Crystal Palace, then we can go above Tottenham into third place. And how amazing would that be to take third place, Mahir, as the league closes out, and we're in the semi-final of the Europa League. Semi-final of the Europa League and third place so far. That would be great going into late April.
That would be fantastic. Like, nothing would make us happy as Gundit right there. What Emery deserves is basically that right there. That place and the Europa League Cup.
Yeah, and if we get third place, and that's if we take care of business tomorrow versus Crystal Palace at home. This scum Tottenham were beaten today, so haha. 1-0 Manchester City win. Was that just desserts for Tottenham after what happened to Manchester City on the VAR? I'm still conflicted about VAR. In the way that game ended, what did you think of that Champions League game?
It was one of the best games I've seen, if not the best. What I would say was, I mean, it was a goal fest. Basically, no defending, just pure attack, pure football.
An English cup, an English quarterfinal, an English Champions League quarterfinal.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought an English Champions League quarterfinal, and there may still be an English final in the Europa League and in the Champions League, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, matter of fact, I saw that I took a picture of that, or somebody took a picture of the Aguero, the last minute Raheem Sterling goal, and he was offside. So
yeah.
So even though I hate the scum, they won that game fairly.
It was very close because he's running back trying to get into an onside position when the ball gets played through very quickly, and yeah, he looks marginally offside. A little bit disappointed that the Tottenham Spursies can crow about getting into a semi-final, but they have to beat Ajax in the semi-final or Barcelona, Liverpool in the final. So I don't see Tottenham winning the Champions League. Do you? You didn't even have to think about that. Nope. No chance.
Because the Ajax side, I mean, Liverpool are fighting with Man City. They deserve to be where they are right now in Champions League and fighting for the title. I mean, that's the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
Like one of the most elite clubs in the world. It was not second position. But anyway, and who's the other team? Ajax.
We
Ajax
talked.
are the underdogs. I mean,
yeah.
if you if you personally ask me, if we're talking about Champions League, I would love to see Ajax beat the Spuds. Those shall not be named.
The Spuds, the scum. And we talked about Ajax a little earlier. We talked about Ajax a little earlier in the podcast. They were in the Europa League only a couple of years. Maybe Arsenal can be like this in 2 years from now.
Many episodes.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep reminding everybody to have faith and trust in Unai. And let's just pray that they back him as money, the finances, to go get old players in this team, because I'm picturing a team with a pacey winger, a box-to-box midfielder next to Torreira, somebody maybe to play the Aaron Ramsey role, and two quality centre-backs. And then last of all, like a third striker, like a quality third striker. I'm thinking like the likes of an Emil Forsberg, somebody young.
Yeah, Emil Forsberg
what could happen in 2 years.
Pepe is going to be expensive now. He's tearing it up in the French league.
Pepe is going to be very expensive because there's a lot of English clubs that are after him. Apparently, I read Chelsea are also after him. I think there was Real Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. So he should be costing at about 70 mil.
What do you?
Exactly what we need.
Speaking of Crystal Palace, there's a couple of players that we would value to come to Arsenal, like a Wan Bissaka or Zaha. What do you think of those two players?
Not so much Wilfred Zaha. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think he'd really succeed with us. And so I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind him.
I think I think he would tear it up with Aubameyang and Lacazette. They would be frightening if we were to pay the big money for Zaha.
It wouldn't be for the amount of money that you're gonna spend on a Zaha to get somebody of better quality or more suited to Arsenal.
What about Wan Bissaka?
Wan Bissaka is a really highlighted prospect
yeah.
at the moment. I would love now. That's one player I would love for defense.
Do you know another player, Doherty for Wolverhampton Wanderers? He's pretty good.
I mean, even Doherty. The same thing goes with Doherty.
Yeah, he's pretty good. So
he's another one of those, but Wolfred is not basically.
So Tottenham lost 1-0. They're on 67 points. We have an opportunity to get above them, and we need to take it tomorrow versus Crystal Palace. I have a team sheet here. Let me know what you think about it. The only thing I don't know about is whether let me give you Bernd Leno is going to be back, and then a back three of Mustafi, Mavropanos, Monreal. Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, Kolasinac, and then Guendouzi alongside Torreira. Hopefully Torreira's fit. And then I would play Iwobi, Lacazette, but I'm not sure about Mkhitaryan or Ozil. Which one of those two I would pick. Now, I don't know if I think you think Koscielny can play a game tomorrow.
Personally, I want the strongest possible squad. So that would mean Xhaka, Torreira. I won't mind Guendouzi, Torreira.
There's some doubts about both of them, even Torreira and Xhaka. Injuries, and same with Koscielny. You don't want to see El Neni. We can't do it.
You know how fight? We can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like you can't even force it to be a Guendouzi El Neni.
Yeah.
Because we just can't do it.
So even Ozil.
And not big dogs, because
Ozil should definitely find himself into the team.
Yes, I would definitely find him.
He didn't play in Napoli, right? He did not play at Napoli, and maybe we're going to see Suarez, Dennis Suarez. Got he's got it. He's got to be close to a game. Yeah, maybe off the subs bench, but he's got to come in. Yeah, and then Lacazette and Aubameyang. You heard he's back. He's going back to Barcelona. Are we going to take the option on him?
No, we're not going to take the option.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just not very happy.
So,
and he doesn't seem as
prediction time for tomorrow. Can we win?
Yes, we can. You want to give your score prediction before I do mine?
2-1. I'll go 2-1.
I'm going with a 2-0.
2-0.
I'm going with a 2-0.
Do you know that do you know out of the last 7 games we have 6 clean sheets? That's amazing.
That is amazing. I think that's 4 at home and 2 away.
Yes. 6 clean sheets, 4 of them have been at home. The last 2 games versus Napoli and Watford, we have clean sheets also. So amazing. Emery is getting the defense to work now. Everything seems to be coming together for the end of the season. We're getting into late April. We're potentially going to be in 3rd place tomorrow. Put the scum down there, and we're going to move up, and we're into a semi-final of the Europa League. If anyone's on the new channel, on the channel here, drop a comment down there. We'll certainly, if you have a question for us, we'll address your question also. But yeah, this is great. Manchester United play Everton as well tomorrow, I hear. Yeah. Yeah, they're playing Everton at Goodison Park. So that'll be a difficult game. Then maybe they will hopefully drop points as well. Maybe a draw there and we win. Theo scores his 2nd goal of the season tomorrow. Wally Walcott. So so hopefully we get a win tomorrow. It's not going to be easy because of our traveling. But tomorrow we play at home at the Emirates. We have some home comforts. But then going into the next week, let's project into next week. Let's just say Everton draw versus Manchester United, and Chelsea will surely beat Burnley. What do you think on Monday? Chelsea will surely beat Burnley. That puts us in 3rd place. And with all of that being said, I think Tottenham will be 5th place, and Chelsea will be 4th place.
How funny wouldn't it be if Scum actually get knocked out by Ajax, and then they don't even make it into the top. They don't even make it into the top 4, so they make it into 6th position. That would be hilarious, to be honest with you.
A perfect season for us would be Unai Emery guiding us to 3rd place, and us winning the Europa League, and Tottenham crashing out of the semi-final of the Champions League and finishing 5th or 6th in the league. That's that would be called a power shift. One of my videos, if you haven't seen it already, folks, check it out. A power shift about how we are going to be the main power in all things at the end of this season. We'll be higher in the league than Tottenham. We already have a greater and better, richer history than Tottenham do. We have more trophies, and they can celebrate winning a quarterfinal.
They were showing pictures of cell phones, we lost 1-2 when the Blackberry was around.
Yeah.
We lost 1-2
Yeah.
Nokia 33 and they showed a picture of Tottenham and they said the last phone, the phone that they lost won a trophy was a tin can, tied by a piece of string.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
That's banter.
Banter SC. So there's going to be midweek games coming up, and then there's games at the weekend. Going into the midweek games, we'll be third place potentially if we beat Crystal Palace tomorrow. But we do have on the horizon Wolverhampton Wanderers on Wednesday. At the same time, Manchester United will play City. Let's because we're an Arsenal podcast, let's talk about Arsenal first. Away to Wolverhampton Wanderers. It doesn't seem as scary as it used to a few weeks ago. Thinking about this, things have changed quickly.
A few weeks ago, they were on good form, getting into the semi of the FA Cup, possibly, to beat Watford and going to a final of the cup.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, it hasn't turned out. I mean, as good a team as they are, I'm not afraid of. I'm not as afraid of. Like a few weeks ago, I would have told you, damn, they're on form. The players are scoring. They just signed the striker to a permanent deal, and even he's hit the ground running.
Do you think that defeat to Watford? Yeah, do you think that defeat to Watford has kind of broken them, and they're feeling the downturn from that Wolverhampton Wanderers?
I think so. It takes a lot to go far into a competition, and I mean, even it's like last year when we got into the semi-finals, and we were thinking, right, one step, and we were basically in the final.
Yeah.
And to lose the way we lost, yet we had so many opportunities. It's the same thing. Basically, it happened to Wolves.
Agree.
So far, I mean, you have to go through how many rounds in order to get into the semi-final of the FA? I think it's like.
You have to win about four games probably.
4.8 teams?
Yeah. You have to win probably 4 or 5 games to get to the semi-final. I think you have to win 6 in total to win it.
But I mean, imagine you put in hard work in a knockout competition where by any means what happens is at the end of the game there's a winner and there's a loser. And then you get so far in, you're just about to put your hand on the cup. Or even have a chance to do that, and you get knocked out,
I watched them today versus Brighton because no Arsenal game, of course, and I knew they were our next opposition after Crystal Palace. But Brighton held them quite well, and Brighton is a team, unfortunately, that I picked to go down. Looking at all of their fixtures, it's going to be between Brighton and Cardiff as to who gets relegated. But Brighton held Wolverhampton Wanderers quite easily on their home patch today. So I don't really have a lot of fear for Arsenal going there on Wednesday night.
I didn't know Brighton were actually playing Wolves.
Yeah.
And that they held them well, actually.
They got a draw. 0-0 draw. Mm-hmm. Surely, if you compare the two squads, there's no comparison between Arsenal. Yeah.
And
we're going into that game and we're in third place, and the other teams around us have games on the weekend as well. There's Tottenham are going to play Brighton on Tuesday night, and they should really beat Tottenham. So we are going to be in a position where Tottenham will have leaped over us again. Let's just say tomorrow we leap over Tottenham. On Tuesday night, Tottenham will leap over us. That's how tight it is. that we will have to get a result at Wolves to leap over Tottenham and be in third place again. You know, that's how tight it is. So.
But like all the pundits, like we say, this fight for top four is like a yo-yo. It goes up and down. You can jump from being in third position to one team beating another and you dropping into sixth or seventh or fifth, and then back into third, and then second, and then, well, not second, but you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I get what you say. Well, we're gonna get into the last week of April. We're still competitive in two competitions, and we will need to step up against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and so Emery's gonna have to maybe pick a weekend side for tomorrow, with view of Wolverhampton Wanderers away, and then after that we have Leicester City away from home after that as well. So the games are going to come thick and fast. In terms of the league, Mahir, City have, I think, a 2-point lead now over Liverpool. Really, from my point of view, I think Liverpool can win all of their remaining games. Okay? But Manchester City have to play Manchester United on Wednesday. That is the key to the title, right?
That's the key to the title, definitely. What I was saying is, I have prepared a bucket of ice already for myself.
No, I would.
Because I do have a feeling that
I wouldn't be thinking that way. I wouldn't be thinking that way at all. I think Liverpool will win out, and Manchester City could drop points because here's my reasoning. They've won 10 games in a row. Manchester City have won 10 games in a row. Can you believe that? They can't keep that going. There's no way they can keep winning, even if it's 4 more games.
yeah, I'm sure there's a slip up somewhere.
There's a slip up somewhere in this title race.
It depends on who the team that they're playing. Like for instance, you know, with us, we're very Jekyll and Hyde. We can either be the home Arsenal, the Emirates Arsenal, where you can't come to our home and even try and get 1 point out of this place, or we can be the other away Arsenal, where things are very shaky, our players don't pitch up, we end up losing the game 1-0, 2-0, 3-1, you know?
Yeah. So Manchester United will be at home versus City. What do you think? Can you predict that game?
If you want a prediction from me, I would say 3-1 to Man City.
Okay, you think City will go to Old Trafford and win quite easily?
Yep.
Do you think Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar, has lost the wheel?
To be honest with you, people would like to come at us, but really they can't say anything. And I mean,
they would love. They love to come at us. I don't know if they have the same banter with Chelsea. Why is it us?
I don't know if you saw this, I think it's United stand or something where one of the main guys was actually saying Rashford is championship material, Lukaku's championship material. I mean, Lukaku is trash, but you can't slate your youngsters. It's like what we were doing to Iwobi, but not on that level. We wouldn't like calling him trash.
Yeah.
We're just saying Iwobi needs to improve in his final third. And if you can do that, you can become a world-class winger. But until then, he needs to buck up. And look what Emery's done to him.
Yeah. I know that Barcelona, this is just paper talk maybe, but Barcelona would like Rashford at the Nou Camp. Have you heard that? Yeah.
I mean, he's a young striker.
He did quite well against Barcelona in their contest, if you want to call it a contest, in their training ground game. It was Barcelona took Manchester United apart very easily. How about David De Gea dropping that ball into the net? Bad. Yeah.
That was trash. I mean, I suppose there was too much power on the ball.
Yeah,
and it was a weak pitch that they were playing on. And as we do know, Ty, remember that one famous incident where Ty said, "It was the rain. It was the rain."
It was the rain. Yeah.
The wet pitch.
Yeah. It was the wet pitch was the problem was the wet pitch. It was the rain. Oh, Ty, I'm sorry. But AFTV have a great combination between Ty and Claude. You get both extremes right there. You know, the most optimistic. I'm not even that optimistic, Ty. I'm not even that optimistic, Ty, as you are. God bless you. You know?
I remember the one argument they had. Ty was actually giving him facts, and I was like, "Yo, Ty, where's this Ty? I like this.
Where's this fight? Yeah, he's fighting back. Yeah, yeah. So Manchester United have to play Manchester City. Manchester United will play Manchester City, and then at the weekend they have to play Chelsea at home as well. So Manchester United have two tough games coming up. That kind of marks them. That kind of marks them out of the top four, I would say. They have to play City and they have to play Chelsea. You know, Tottenham have to play West Ham and Brighton.
Yeah, I don't see Bante getting into the top four because they're doubting too much, man. I mean, they're even doubting their manager.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you and I, or 99% of the Arsenal supporters that support this beloved club, even when Unai lost his first few games and nobody was calling for his head, but now people are losing it.
Yeah.
Since, but I mean, Ole Gunnar, they chose the right guy for the job because he knows it. But I mean, to have trash players who somebody made a statistic. They said, the last time Brand FC got knocked out by Basel from I think the Champions League.
Yeah.
They had 5 of the 11 players that were on the pitch versus Barcelona. And that was what 9 years ago.
Okay, so they still have a lot of players from 9 years ago. That's what you're saying.
Ashley Young, Smalling, Phil Jones.
Phil Jones. Yeah. When you think of it that way, they've been around a while. I know the noises from Old Trafford are like a complete rebuild in the summertime. They're going to be active in the transfer market, but that's not always the best thing for stability. They're kind of in the wilderness again.
I'm so glad we're not in that position. I'm so glad that we can still back our manager. We just need a few quality signings, and it's not like replace. They really have to replace their whole back line badly, except for Lindelof and who else?
Yeah.
Except for Lindelof and Bailey.
Bailey
and Lindelof, there's only 2 players that I can really think of.
I think
obviously the keeper, but
I think what we're seeing this season, Mahir, is a crossover between Manchester United and Arsenal, and we're on the up and up, and we're probably pretty level. Earlier in the season, we were pretty level in terms of quality and what we were doing in the league, but we're on the up and up, while they're on the down and down. And you could say we're Europa League quality right now, but we just beat a Champions League quality team in Napoli, whereas Manchester United were getting hammered by Barcelona, and maybe Manchester United a Europa League quality, to be completely honest.
Exactly, you're completely right when it comes to that, because I mean, if you think about it, how many seasons have they given us banter for having basically a washout coach. And
4, 5, 6 years.
Yes, and absolutely crap. I mean, especially in the last season,
Yeah.
and the season before that, like we honestly couldn't say nothing. Like, and it hurt. It hurt with the amount of United fans. That's like most of the population are like the United fans.
Yeah.
You don't support United.
A lot of them.
You probably support Liverpool.
Yeah.
If you don't support Liverpool, you probably support Arsenal. So I mean, that's like literally it. Those three clubs, Liverpool, Arsenal, or Panther FC. And last year we were hurting. And now it's our turn to send some of the abuse their way. Because now Panther FC.
If you're watching this in playback, and I hope Noe and London Old School are with us till the end on playback, drop comments down there, let us know. You're probably busy with your lives doing stuff right now, but I know you'll watch this on playback. And drop a comment. Let me know. I'm going to tell everybody, every Arsenal supporter across the world, I think it's safe to banter FC right now. You can banter Manchester United right now. We are safely a better team than them.
Yes, completely.
Clearly.
Completely.
You can have confidence. If you're that type of person who likes to go in the comments and banter Manchester United supporters, then now is your time to do it. And it could be for the foreseeable future. We are for sure going to finish ahead of them. And obviously, we have a chance to win a European trophy while they're out of it, you know?
I mean, I'm so excited to see us play against Sevilla and get that one step closer. I mean, we just need a good away leg, basically, since we're playing away. Okay, we're playing away. Let us go and get the result there and do the same thing.
My only fear, here, Gundit News, is that a Spanish away team, the crowd is going to be more into it than Napoli ever was. At the Mestalla, I think it's the Mestalla Stadium.
I love the fact you brought up even the name. But basically, Ray Benjamin, if we want to review it quickly, Ray Benjamin is the likes of former Atletico striker Kevin Gamero. Quite a few players. I think Navas plays for Valencia. No, sorry. 2 of our former players.
I was going to mention if you didn't.
And the Pitbull. I forgot his name now.
Gabriel. We do love Gabriel. He was always a good servant for Arsenal. Marginally better than Mustafi. Yeah. And of course, Francis Coquelin, who a few years ago formed a very, very good partnership with Santi Cazorla in our midfield. If that partnership, if that partnership had stayed intact, we probably would have won the league in 2016. Yeah, we went to West Brom and Santi got injured at West Brom. But there was statistics.
You know what? You saw statistics. I saw a list of players in 2011. It's a list of 10 players in 2019 that have surprised us with comebacks. And do you know who's in number 8?
Coquelin.
The little magician.
Who?
No, the little magician himself.
Santi Cazorla. And in some ways, it's a pity that the Villarreal did not get through in that tie, and because it would have been lovely to have Santi Cazorla come to the Emirates, and the fans could have really given him a good reception, you know.
It was so heartwarming, like we said other week when we were discussing Villarreal and Barca as a strider. We said That game it was 4-4. Completely boxed them up.
Yeah.
He created something like eight opportunities, big opportunities.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm glad he's having a very good season, Santi Cazorla. Possibly we could have used him this season as well if Emery had kept him, but we have to trust the coach. He's doing great things this season.
Yes, of course. I'm combo in the midfield.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would be amazing.
Man can dream, though.
Man can dream. Yeah, so let's we're on 85 minutes. I think we can make another 5 minutes. We always like to get to 90 minutes here, don't we?
Yeah, like full game.
You're in a full game at the Arsenal fan circle. We go 90 minutes. We go 90 minutes every week, just like the team. And hopefully our performance. Yeah. What a strong. I think I would take Aubameyang and Lacazette instead of us.
Oh, yeah, I know, man. That's the chemistry. It's like we're Aubameyang and Lacazette, which I love. I'm sure our subscribers do the same for us, and we appreciate them tuning in live and catching the rerun on YouTube.
Yeah, please drop a comment down there if you have watched the rerun. We'll appreciate that. Yeah, we've got two great strikers. In some ways, Mahir, the team is playing more to Lacazette's strengths right now rather than Aubameyang's. What do you feel? What do you feel about Aubameyang this season? Obviously, he's close to top scorer in the league, but I feel
he's behind Mo Salah. I think he's behind Mo Salah
by one goal,
If
and
he had scored another goal at Watford, he would have been he would have been in the league.
Yeah.
For top scorer.
Yeah.
And personally, if you want my opinion about Aubameyang, I just think we're blessed, man. I just think we're blessed. I don't even compare the two. Yeah. I don't compare Lacazette to Ober and Ober to Lacazette. I just think ourselves we're so blessed to have two world-class quality strikers that when we need them, which is most games, they score goals.
I was really worried that this season might fizzle out. We won't get any trophies, and then Aubameyang gets older. He's not as Lacazette's younger than Aubameyang, and then this team would not win anything with both Aubameyang and Lacazette. That's why I think winning this Europa League trophy would be so important.
It would mean so much,
right?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, man. I also would. I at least want to see another 2 seasons of a Lacazette, Aubameyang, and possibly a third striker. Also.
Yeah.
Like we say, a young striker like an Emil Forsberg or somebody.
Yeah.
I can bring that a little bit, man. I would love to see a combination of 3. When the one is not there, then the replacement is there. To just keep banging in the goals. It's a pity, Danny Welbeck. And like you say, you would have given him another year, Danny.
I would have, because now we have to go spend how much money on a striker or some kind of a winger, something like a Danny Welbeck.
That's the loss of our worries, though. Like a third striker, but we could get the dream. I actually saw some people post on Instagram. The dream is, so now we're getting Adidas sponsorship.
Yeah.
We're getting Champions League, right?
Yeah.
And the 2 players is Umtiti and Nicolas Pepe, basically.
And the Ligt might be a good one as well for Ajax to look at.
Look, a lot of that's going to be fought out. I think maybe
a lot of teams are going to come after him.
And because I think it's something like 100 more, if I'm not mistaken.
For a
But
nine,
Barcelona have already bought the like.
19-year-old, he reminds me of Tony Adams a little bit.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying.
He's a
But like,
captain.
it's
He's
lovely to
19
see
and he's a captain of Ajax.
how we see that's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Big reason behind it, whether or not he'll be a flop is to be seen. And personally, if you ask me, but like Barcelona's already got a handle on Frankie de Jong.
Yeah.
De Jong from Ajax.
Yeah.
And they're looking at the lift as well. So it's like combinations almost to replace other combinations, like vital combinations.
Well, James Rowe has already said as well that De Ligt is not a person who would just sign for Barcelona because De Jong is there. He will do his own. He'll make his own decision about what's best for his career.
Yeah, make your own legacy.
And you know,
make your own legacy.
I was watching on Netflix Griezmann last night, and he didn't. He has not gone to Barcelona when they wanted him as well. So Griezmann is staying at a club that suits him. You know.
But that's fantastic. I would love to see Ajax continue on this path.
Yeah.
Even if they're missing one player, but like to continue, like to promote amongst the academy, maybe, you know,
maybe
people who haven't been playing more chance to prove themselves. Because you never know, like, say for instance, we lost the likes of, like maybe Jacques, say for instance, we sold Jacques or something, but the missing piece could be to promote Ainsley Maitland-Niles to the midfield.
Yeah.
How would we know if we didn't try? How would we know if we didn't try?
Exactly.
And what if we tried and he's that missing piece?
Yeah.
Like,
you have to.
The combination.
You have to try it.
Torreira and Ainsley Maitland-Niles for what? How many years? For many years.
Yeah.
You know.
And yeah, let's bring back our injured players from last year. This campaign: Rob Holding, like we said, Bellerin, who's a first teamer, and Welbeck if possible. And don't forget the players that are out on loan yet. I'm not sure how Emile Smith-Rowe is doing, but Reece Nelson scored another goal recently as well.
Oh man, Reece Nelson. Like, we didn't know he had. You see, if we didn't send him out alone, how would we know we had this quality around?
The future is. The future is bright. The future is bright. The future is bright. The future is bright for this Arsenal team. And maybe De Ligt could have been 19. He opts to stay at Ajax for another year. You would not blame him to mature for another couple of years before he moves on. But we've got into injury time right now, 92 minutes, and that's great. So we can just sign off for there. I'll give you the last word for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, guys. I will give you position. My position basically is going to be. I think it is 3-0.
3-0.
Or not realistic.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And I think we take that any day of the week. The regiment to watch out for basically would be.
Wilfred Zaha and Townsend, yeah. Those are the two players I was going to mention. Yeah.
But yeah, that's our predictions. We just want to thank you, whether you're watching this on rerun, whether you're watching this live. Like, comment, subscribe to the Arsenalfancircle with myself and the host, Raymond Walker, my good buddy, my brother. And yeah, until next time, guys, hopefully with a nice big smile on our faces as we continue and continue to fight for top 4, which I think we will get by any means necessary, whether that means going to Sevilla and finding out the result away from home.
Valencia.
It's going to be very, very tough. Sorry, Valencia, away from home. And yeah, guys, I can't say much more. I'm just happy right now.
Yeah, no, it's a good time to be a Gunner. Good time to be a Gunner. A good time to be an Arsenal supporter. Remember to banter all of those Manchester United supporters that you know in your life, that you love. This is the time to banter them. We will be in third. I'm not trying to be too cocky here. We'll be third place tomorrow. after we beat Crystal Palace. We had 2 tough away games. Wolverhampton Wanderers away, nothing really to be scared of. And then next Sunday we will get back to our usual routine of having a show on Sunday. But it is Saturday with the extra day of Friday being off. It feels like a Sunday to me. But this has been our 15th. Can you imagine our 15th episode now here? Want to shout out to London Old School, Noe, and all of our regulars. All of our subscribers, we love you if you're watching for now. Thanks for all your support, and we will see you next weekend. Bye bye.